Tonight, I'm going to share a story so intense it leaves hearts pounding. Set beneath faded moonlight, between gun smoke and silence on a lonely frontier road. The West is a place where pride costs lives, and humiliation sparks bloodshed. And it all began with something trivial. A man refusing to fight back, until the wrong hands forced his past into the open. Before we kick off this adventure, don't forget to hit like on the video, and let us know in the comments where you're watching from. The whiskey slammed into Garrick Ash-Hand Wexler's face like burning kerosene. It soaked into his silvered beard, rolled off the brim of his dusty hat, and streamed down the front of his long-worn duster in warm amber streaks. 6 young ranch hands circled him, laughing loud enough to rattle the lantern glass, thinking this was the finest entertainment they'd ever witnessed. "Look at that. Old drunk getting baptized in barrel-grade whiskey," Boss Kellenry shouted, 28 and recklessly stupid. "Old fool just sits there, doesn't even swing back. What kind of man are you, Grandpa?" Garrick didn't blink, didn't shift. He sat planted on his bar stool, hands resting flat atop polished oak, expression locked in stone, no anger, no fear, just cold gray eyes staring straight ahead, remembering a life he buried 15 years earlier. "Maybe the old man's deaf," Cade Rivenhall added, Boss's younger brother. "Hey, ancient relic, can you even hear me? Too broken to listen?" The saloon was shoulder deep with onlookers. 30 people watching disgrace drip from Garrick's face, watching 6 drunk cowboys dump whiskey across his head like he wasn't human, like he wasn't worth breath. None of them noticed Garrick's right hand sliding behind his back, slow, patient, closing around the gun he swore he'd never draw again. The gun that ended 47 men, the one they whispered about as the Golden Devil, a Colt 45 plated in gold, ivory grip carved with 47 hash marks. The boys kept laughing. They didn't see death sliding free. They didn't know they had just made their final mistake. In less than 15 seconds, all 6 would be gone. And Garrick Ash-Hand Wexler would remember exactly why his name once rattled across territory lines. Before things turn dark, if you're enjoying this story, tap that like button and let us know where you're listening from. Folks tuning in from every corner of the world amaze me. Stay with me. What comes next isn't something you'll forget. Legends don't die, they just go quiet until someone wakes them. From 18 to 43, Garrick had been the fastest draw ever witnessed. 47 kills, each judged legal, each fight fair. But fairness never washed blood away. Justified didn't erase faces, didn't silence the screams echoing inside memory. At 43, he hung up the gun, locked away the Golden Devil, swore killing was done, swore his life would end nameless, not legendary. And for 15 full years, he managed it. Arizona dust, New Mexico wind, ranch fences repaired, wells dug. People saw nothing more than a quiet, worn-down old man. Until tonight. Until whiskey reigned over him. Until laughter carved humiliation into the wood beneath his boots. Until they pushed too far. Garrick felt that cold, perfect grip, like shaking hands with a long-dead friend. His thumb rested on the hammer, his finger curled around the trigger. Muscle memory, sharp, precise, returned like lightning under skin. The 6 boys still laughed, still breathing, still convinced life was safe. They had 10 seconds left, maybe less. Ash-Hand's gaze lifted across the smoke-lit room, straight into the eyes of old Myrtle Pike behind the counter. Old Myrtle recognized something in that look, something buried, something deadly, and ducked behind the bar. Smart man. Because once Ash-Hand started shooting, anyone standing upright would die. Boss Kellenry poured another splash of whiskey, laughing harder. "This old geezer's probably never fired a gun," he bragged. "Spent his whole life scared, weak, worthless." Garrick rose, slow, calm, whiskey dripping off his coat. His face still showed nothing. The Golden Devil rested behind his back now, waiting, 47 notches ready for 6 more. "You boys finished?" Garrick asked. His low voice sounded like wind scraping through mesquite, cold, flat, final. "Finished?" Voss mocked. "Old man, we're just getting warmed up. We're gonna make you dance, make you cry, make you—" Garrick brought the gun forward, not fast, not frantic, smooth as moonlight. The Golden Devil appeared like it materialized out of thin air. Gold shimmered beneath lamplight. Terrifying, beautiful, unmistakable. Silence dropped like a falling coffin. Every soul in the room recognized that weapon. "No," Voss breathed, color draining out of his face. "You can't be. Ash-Hand is dead. You're just some—" "My name is Garrick Wexler," he said. "They called me Ash-Hand. This is the Golden Devil. It has ended 47 men. Tonight it takes 6 more. You poured whiskey on me. You tried to break me. You woke up what I buried." Cade Rivenhall's hand twitched toward his holster. Fatal mistake. The hammer clicked, loud enough to freeze the whole world. "Don't," Garrick warned. "The moment you reach for steel, I start shooting. And when I start, no one threatening me stays alive. You get one chance. Walk out and live, or draw and die." Voss's pride outweighed logic. His fingers twitched toward his gun. Garrick moved. What followed took 15 seconds. 15 slow, eternal seconds. 15 seconds that turned 6 living men into memory. Voss reached first. One shot, straight through the heart, snapped him backward before his brain understood death. Cade reached second. A bullet cut his throat clean, dropping him in a wet cough of blood. Rowan Emberwick and Sterling Morrow drew together. But Ash-Hand separated reality, left one falling instantly with a hole through the temple, and the other choking on ruin inside his chest. Owen Marcliffe tried to run. Legs folded beneath him in the doorway, spine shattered. His scream echoed long after. Tarek Fenlow, wiser than the rest, raised empty hands, surrendering. 15 seconds. 6 men ruined. A legend awake. Garrick holstered both guns, face calm, heart steady, as the Golden Devil cooled against his coat. Because legends never die. They just wait to be disturbed. Targets split, forcing the shooter to choose, but Garrick Ash-Hand Wexler didn't choose. He struck both. His right hand fired at Rowan Emberwick, and with his left, he drew a second revolver from his belt holster, shooting Sterling Morrow almost in the same breath. 2 shots, less than half a heartbeat apart, both flawless, both fatal. Rowan took a bullet straight through the forehead. Lights out instantly, body folding like dropped canvas. Sterling's shot hit deep in the chest, collapsing a lung. He hit the floor struggling to breathe, drowning on his own blood. Not dead yet, just waiting for suffering to finish the rest. Then Owen Marcliffe, 22, shaking, eyes full of terror, turned and tried to run. He sprinted toward the swinging doors, but didn't make it. Garrick's bullet caught him high in the spine. His legs stopped working immediately. He dropped and lay there, paralyzed, sobbing, begging, "Please, don't kill me. I'm sorry, please, I'm begging you." Tarek Fenlow, the only one with age and sense, 40 years old, seasoned enough to understand death when it stood in front of him, never drew, never ran. He simply raised both hands, palms open, surrender plain and honest. 15 seconds. 5 dead. 1 dying, 1 surrendering. And Garrick Wexler stood in the center of all that wreckage with the Golden Devil still smoking in his right hand. a regular Colt cooling in his left, expression flat as a gravestone. He looked straight at Tarek Fenlow, the only man wise enough to stop before dying, and said 6 words that would follow Tarek for the rest of his life. "Tell them Ash-Hand is back." Garrick holstered both guns. The Golden Devil disappeared beneath his coat again. The shooting was done, but the aftermath stayed. 6 young men, 5 corpses, 1 broken body still breathing, and 30 witnesses who had just watched a ghost from the past prove legends weren't myths. Garrick walked toward Owen Marcliffe, who lay paralyzed, crying, choking on panic. "I can't feel my legs. I can't move. Please help me, please," he cried. "You poured whiskey on me?" Garrick said. No anger, just truth. "You laughed. You humiliated me. You reminded me of who I was. You made me draw the gun I buried. You chose this. Now you carry the cost." "I'm 22. Owen gasped, sobbing harder. "I got a girl. We're supposed to get married, please. I didn't know who you were. I'm sorry. Please, Mercy. Please." Garrick stared at him, the boy who would never ride again, who would spend whatever life remained staring at a world he could no longer walk through. Was Mercy letting him live broken, or ending him quickly? "You want Mercy?" Garrick asked. "Yes." Owen choked. "Please, God, please." Garrick drew the Golden Devil again and leveled it at Owen's forehead. Owen's eyes widened, realizing Mercy meant death. "No, no, please, I want to live. Even like this, I want to live." Garrick lowered the gun. "Then live," he said. "But remember this, you humiliated the wrong man. Actions carry consequences. Some old men aren't weak, they're just tired. And when you wake them up, people die." He turned toward Tarek Fenlow, the only living witness standing. "You're Tarek Fenlow, 40 years old. Rode with the Kellenry brothers 3 years. Robbed 6 stages. Took 2 lives. Law wants you, but I don't. You surrendered. That buys you life, but not freedom. You're going to turn yourself in. You'll confess. You'll face punishment. You understand?" "Yes." Tarek stammered, voice shaking. "I understand. I'll do it, I swear it." "Good," Garrick said. "Because if you run, I'll find you. And next time, I won't take surrender. I'll put you down. Clear?" "Clear as crystal, Mr. Wexler." Garrick glanced around the saloon, at blood darkening the floorboards, at silent faces staring, at the horror they would remember for the rest of their lives. He had spent 15 years trying to bury Ash-Hand, 15 years trying to disappear. Tonight, he failed. 6 more lives added to the weight behind him, and he knew this was only the start. Word would spread. Stories would ride farther than horses. Every young gun in the territory would come hunting him, men eager to carve their names by carving through him. Someone whispered, "Thought you died south of the border. Thought fever took you in Mexico. Thought you vanished." "No," Garrick answered. "I was here, in this town, 2 years. You never noticed, nobody noticed. That was the point. I was nobody. Just another drunk. Just another worn-down man. Then 6 fools poured whiskey on me. Woke me up. Calder Hurstfield stepped closer, studying the bodies. One with a hole through the heart, one choking on his own blood, one face ruined beyond recognition, one gasping out his final breaths, one paralyzed, sobbing, one man trembling with his hands raised. "Self-defense?" Calder asked. "They drew first," Garrick replied. 30 shaken witnesses nodded. "I warned them. I told them who I was. Gave them their chance to walk away. They chose otherwise. So I chose for them. Legal," he added. Justified. Clean. Clean, Calder echoed, bitter. There's nothing clean here, Garrick. 5 dead boys, 1 paralyzed, 1 scarred for life, and you, Ash-Hand Wexler, back from whatever grave you crawled out of. You know what this means? Every young gun in 3 territories will come here. My town becomes a battlefield. The streets will run with blood, all because you couldn't swallow humiliation and walk away. Walk away? Garrick's voice sharpened like a whetstone. They dumped whiskey on me, mocked me in front of 30 people. You think a man should crawl for that? Let children treat him like dirt? Calder didn't answer, because there wasn't one. Garbage? I think a man who's taken 47 souls ought to know how to walk away from 6 drunk boys. Calder Hurstfield snapped back at him. I think a legend who spent 15 years pretending to be nobody should remember why he buried the legend. Because legends don't sleep easy. They draw violence, challengers, death. You killed these 6, Calder continued. How many more fall tomorrow, next week, a month from now? How many will hunt you, and how many innocent folks get caught in the middle? Garrick Ash-Hand Wexler didn't answer, because Calder had spoken truth. The legend was awake again, and legends drew predators. Young guns wanting to measure themselves against him. Old enemies wanting revenge, hungry killers wanting a name. They would come. Men would die. Maybe Garrick, maybe them, maybe both. You need to leave, Calder said. Tonight. Now. Ride out of my town before word spreads and wolves start circling. Go vanish someplace else. Because Redemption Creek can't survive being the place Ash-Hand walks. Garrick left at dawn, packed what little he owned, saddled his gray mare, Patience, and rode alone, carrying 5 fresh souls on his conscience, knowing more were waiting beyond the horizon. He camped 30 miles north, small fire glowing against desert dark, a tin cup of black coffee warming his hand. And he sat there, staring into embers, asking himself where a legend goes to bury itself again. Then hoofbeats approached. One rider coming straight, making no effort to hide. Brave, stupid, or both, the man stepped out of the darkness. Young, maybe 25. Tall, lean, wearing 2 revolvers like he believed they made him a king. He walked with the arrogant certainty of someone who thought he was fast. Someone who thought this moment would change history. You Garrick Wexler? He asked. Ash-Hand, the one with the golden gun? I'm Garrick, he said, not standing, not threatening, just tired. Who are you? Name's Brecklin Vale, he said. They call me Star Draw, fastest gun in New Mexico. I came to challenge you, prove I'm quicker than the legend. You're not, Garrick replied, flat and honest. I've killed 47 men. Last night made it 52. You'll be 53. You really want that? You want to die young, get thrown into a nameless hole, nothing but a scratch mark on my grip? I ain't dying, Brecklin said boldly. Arrogance, youth, blind hunger in his voice. You're old, slow, worn out. I'm young, fast. It's my time now. Yours is over. Garrick stood, bones creaking, age settling across his shoulders like weight. I don't want to kill you, boy. I buried that gun. I tried living quiet. You don't need this. You can turn around and live. You scared? Brecklin taunted. Legend afraid of a real fight? I'm not scared, Garrick said softly. I'm tired. Tired of killing. Tired of fools thinking speed is wisdom. Tired of watching boys die trying to be legends. But if you force this, he continued, I'll kill you. And I'll feel nothing. I stopped feeling around kill number 20. Now I just add ghosts. That what you want? To be ghost 53? Draw, Brecklin said, hands hovering, breath sharp. On 3, we draw. Fastest lives. Ready? Garrick's hand moved, not fast, just inevitable. Before Brecklin finished saying 1, the golden devil was out, hammer cocked, barrel leveled at his chest. Brecklin froze, hands still 6 inches from his guns. His face showed disbelief, realization that physics had cheated him, that the legend wasn't exaggerated. He was already dead if Garrick wanted him dead. You're not Star Draw, Garrick said, muzzle steady. You're Brecklin Vale, slow, untested, dead in an instant if I squeeze. You want to be a legend? Then survive tonight. Learn. Legends don't announce themselves. Don't count to 3. Don't give courtesies. They draw. They kill. Fast. Same way I could end you right now. Brecklin's lips trembled. He couldn't speak. You know why I'm not? Garrick said. The boy shook his head. Because you're not a killer. You're just a kid wearing steel, pretending it makes you dangerous. You've never watched a man's life disappear because of you. Never carried that weight. Never questioned whether you're a man or a monster. And I don't kill innocents. Garrick lowered the gun, holstered the golden devil. Go home, Brecklin. Find a woman. Build something. Raise children. Live something worth remembering. Because killing doesn't make legends. Surviving does. Raise kids. Live your life. Because gunfighting ain't glory. It's ghosts. It's waking up at night, hearing names you can't forget. It's carrying faces of men you sent into the dirt until you die alone with nothing but echoes. That's the real legacy. Not legend, not reputation. Just loneliness, blood, and regret. Brecklin Star Draw Vale's knees gave out. He dropped onto the cold ground, tears hitting the dust, not from humiliation, but relief. Relief that he wasn't dead. Relief that mercy lived in a place it didn't belong. Thank you, he sobbed. Thank you. I'm sorry. I was stupid. Arrogant. I didn't understand. Thank you. Don't thank me, Garrick Ash-Hand Wexler said. Thank your youth. Thank the fact that your hands haven't taken blood yet. Because if you had even one life hanging on your conscience, I'd have finished this. I don't leave armed threats breathing. Only innocents. Only boys who haven't crossed the line. You got lucky. Don't waste it. Brecklin scrambled back onto his horse and tore into the darkness. Hooves thundering down the canyon road, running from death he begged for, running toward a life he nearly threw away. Garrick watched the boy disappear. That could have been Death 53. Should have been. Would have been, back when mercy wasn't part of who he was. But 15 years of trying to be better had shifted something, softened something in him, turned edges into scars, brought a sliver of mercy that a younger version of Ash-Hand never carried. Or maybe that softness was weakness. Maybe real gunfighters didn't spare challengers. Maybe mercy was nothing more than delayed death. Because Brecklin would tell the story, would brag about facing Ash-Hand Wexler. It would spread, make Garrick bigger than before, would bring more fools, more challengers, more dying. Garrick kicked dirt over his campfire, climbed onto Patience, and rode north beneath a sky full of cold stars, trying to outrun a legend stitched into him like bone. But you don't outrun a name carved in blood. Word was already traveling. More would come. And eventually mercy would dry up, and the shooting would begin again and again, until someone finally put Garrick in the ground. Because legends never die quietly. They explode. In blood. He rode 3 days straight and crossed into New Mexico territory. came upon a speck of a town called Salvation. Maybe 200 souls living there, quiet place, far from any map that mattered. Felt like the perfect graveyard for a name he was trying to kill. He rented a room above the general store, paid cash for the week, sat alone, kept silent. Tried one more time to be nobody. It worked for 4 days. 4 peaceful days of warm bread, empty streets, no questions, no stares. Then someone caught sight of the golden devil when his duster shifted, bright gold flashing like sunlight on steel. And that was all it took. Within an hour, the whole town knew. Ash-Hand Wexler was in Salvation. The legend, the gun, the death behind him. People whispered when he walked down the street. Saloon doors swung open just so folks could see him pass. Some were thrilled, wanted stories, wanted to shake his hand, wanted proof they had lived in the same air as the fastest man alive. Annoying, but harmless. Others were afraid. Saw him like thundercloud danger, because where Ash-Hand walked, challengers always followed. Gunfights would come, innocent people would get caught between bullets. They wanted him gone, far gone, out of their quiet streets. But some smelled opportunity. Saloons put up signs. Drink where Ash-Hand drinks, hotels whispered. Sleep under the same roof as the legend. General store sold trinkets and carved wooden pistols. Souvenirs of Ash-Hand. Prosperity off another man's ghosts. And 3 men, only 3, saw more than spectacle or profit. They saw a prize, a legend to bury, a name to steal. A place where their story could begin by ending his. They hovered in shadows, waiting, listening, preparing their moment, preparing to test themselves, preparing to kill Garrick Wexler, preparing to become the ones who ended Ash-Hand. The sheriff came calling. A woman named Sheriff Adeline Crestwood, 45, tough as boot leather, showed up on Garrick Ash-Hand Wexler's 5th day in town. She knocked once, then walked in without waiting. Sat herself across from him with a bottle of cheap whiskey and a look carved from long nights and too many problems. "You need to leave," she said. No softness, no build-up. Not because I dislike you. Truth is, I respect what you used to be. I respect that you tried to walk away from it. And you've kept the peace since arriving. But your existence is enough to start trouble. You breathe here, and danger follows. 3 men are in Salvation for one reason: killing you. Calder Hurstfield, his brother Brant Hurstfield, and a gun hand named Soren Blackthorne. All of them killers. All of them waiting. All of them planning to challenge you. And when that happens, and it will happen, my town turns into a battlefield. Innocent people end up bleeding for your shadow. I won't allow that. "I can leave," Garrick replied, voice low. "I've already been thinking about it. But leaving won't stop them. They'll chase me, or hunt someone else. Men like them don't quit. They run until someone stops them." "Then stop them," she fired back. "Get ahead of them. Kill them. Make Salvation safe again, and then leave. That's all I'm asking. You created the storm by walking into town. Clean it up and disappear." "You're asking me to murder 3 men," Garrick said. "Legal killing, maybe. Justified killing. But killing. And if I do, 3 more makes 56. And after that? When does the counting end? When does blood finish making circles around me?" At noon, Garrick walked into the saloon. Everybody already knew Calder and Brant Hurstfield were there. They were making noise about how they'd end Ash-Hand, how they were quicker, how the legend was nothing but a worn-out old ghost with bad aim. There were 2 of them. Calder Hurstfield, 32, face cut with scars, eyes that never softened. Brant Hurstfield, 29, taller, thicker, Less thinking, more hurting. 9 men dead between them. Wanted posters hanging across 3 territories. Professional killers. Bad men with ugly habits. But they weren't Ash-Hand Wexler. Garrick walked straight to their table. Didn't wait to be noticed. Didn't even sit. Just stood over them, giving them every chance to back away, to choose life instead of legend. They didn't. "So you're Ash-Hand," Calder said, smiling wrong. "Word says you're the quickest steel ever lived. We came to prove that's a lie. We're going to kill you, old man. Gonna take your place, take your gun, take everything attached to your name." "You can't," Garrick answered. Calm, flat truth. "I'm faster than both of you. I'll kill you both. Right here, right now. Then 54 becomes 56. If that's really what you want, to die in a saloon in New Mexico, buried somewhere with no names, no markers, say so." "That's big talk," Brant said, rising to full height. 6'3" and wide enough to block lamplight. "Let's see if your hands are as quick as your mouth." "Both of us," he continued. "Same time. You got 2 guns. Good. 2 targets. 1 bullet each. No chance. While you shoot him, I kill you. That's simple math." "That's not how math works," Garrick said. "I've faced men side by side before. They died the same. You aren't special, not dangerous. Just dead men who haven't stopped breathing yet." Calder stood. Outside, Main Street. 10 minutes. "We draw, you fall. We become legends. Cleaner for everyone." "Fair," he said. "There's nothing fair here," Garrick replied. "Fair would be you walking away, building a life, making a different choice than the grave you're steering into." "But you won't walk away," Garrick Ash-Hand Wexler said. "You'll draw, I'll kill you. And 54 becomes 56. Then tomorrow 2 more fools show up, then 2 more, and 2 more. It never ends. That's the curse of being a legend. You don't die peacefully. You just keep sending men into the ground until someone finally buries you. And today, you're the ones going under." Garrick stepped outside. Calder Hurstfield and Brant Hurstfield followed. The town came with them. 30 people lined the dusty main road. Silent, stiff, eyes wide. Waiting to witness gunfire. Waiting to watch death unfold. Waiting to see if Ash-Hand was story or truth. He stood in the center of the street. Dust swirling at his boots. The Hurstfield brothers took their positions 20 feet away. 3 men. 2 about to be erased. 1 about to carry 55 ghosts beneath his duster. Silence settled across the street. No wind, no breath, no sound, just inevitability tightening like a noose. Calder stood to the left, Brant to the right, hands hovering, weight forward, confidence high and misplaced. Garrick stood loose, relaxed, hands hanging low, guns still holstered, face unreadable. No fear, no hesitation, only certainty, the kind earned by killing 53 men before sunrise. Calder called out, "On 3, we all draw." Fastest breathes, slowest drops. 1, 2. Garrick drew on 2, not waiting for 3, not letting fairness get him killed. Because real gunfights weren't about honor. They were about staying alive. The golden devil appeared in his right hand like flame-catching air. His left hand drew the belt-holstered revolver. 2 guns, 2 targets, 2 shots. Both fired in the same heartbeat, same breath, same sliver of existence. Calder caught his bullet in the throat. 45 lead blew through windpipe, snapped spine, shut his body down before he hit the dirt. He was dead while still upright. Brain just slow to understand. Brant took his round dead center in the heart Perfect entrance. Violent exit. His gun fired once into the dust. Harmless, meaningless. Then he fell still. The gunfight lasted 3 seconds. 3 seconds from breath to blood. 3 seconds from confidence to corpses. 3 seconds proving that Ash-Hand was not rumor. He was reality. The crowd stared, awed, terrified, reverent. They had just watched 2 notorious killers die like children. Watched the fastest draw their eyes would ever witness. Watched a legend kill with quiet precision that felt easy. Felt casual. Too casual. Garrick holstered both revolvers. Looked at the bodies with the same expression he wore before the shooting. 54. 55. 2 more weights that would sit on his chest at night. 2 more ghosts he would never name. 2 more faces he would choose not to remember. The ledger was filling. The burden growing. How much more could one soul carry before something inside that broke? Sheriff Adeline Crestwood stepped forward. "That was self-defense," she said. "They called you out. They drew first. It's legal, justified. But you need to leave. Now, today. Before word spreads. Before more arrive." Sheriff Adeline Crestwood said, "I can't let salvation turn into a graveyard." "What about Soren Blackthorne?" Garrick Ash-Hand Wexler asked. "You said 3 men came for me. I've only seen 2. Where's the last?" "Right behind you," a voice answered. Cold, disciplined, unshaken. Garrick didn't turn immediately. He already knew. This one was different. This one wasn't loud, reckless, or eager. This one was here to end him. Garrick turned slow. Soren Blackthorne stood 20 feet away. 42 years old, worn by weather and violence. Face marked by scars that looked earned, not accidental. His eyes gave nothing, but they revealed everything. This wasn't a boy pretending to be dangerous. This was danger. "Soren Blackthorne," Garrick said quietly. "Heard about you. 23 confirmed kills. Fast. Professional. Killed 3 federal marshals and a Texas Ranger. You're the real kind. Not like those 2 brothers." "Same goes for you," Soren replied. His tone wasn't mocking. It was acknowledgement. Respect from one predator to another. Ash-Hand Wexler, 53 official kills. Likely more that never reached paper. Fastest draw anyone's ever seen. That golden gun of yours, folks tell stories like it's scripture. "I'm not here chasing fame," Soren continued. "I'm not here for legacy or foolish pride." "Then why?" Garrick asked. "If not for the legend, what?" "Because someone hired me. Simple, plain, unapologetic. $10,000, Soren continued. "To kill you. No name attached. Just instructions, just payment, just your description. So here I am. Nothing personal." "Business," Garrick repeated. "You're not a gunfighter, you're an assassin. You trade in death for money. No code, no principle, just a payday." Soren didn't flinch. "And you," he answered, "have 53 graves tied to your name. You killed for glory, for pride, for honor. I kill for money. Which of us is more honest about who we are? At least I state my motive plainly. You dress yours in righteousness. And the ground under both of us still has bodies in it." Garrick had no defense, because the truth didn't bend. 53 men, all justified fights, all legal, but still dead, still buried, still weight he carried. "So someone hates me enough to put up $10,000, Garrick said. "Who? Who's got that kind of money and that kind of grudge?" "Don't know," Soren said. "Don't need to know. Might be kin of someone you killed. Might be an outlaw from back when you ran hard. Might be someone who thinks you're a threat. Doesn't matter. What matters is you die today, and I get paid tomorrow. Simple math. Or, Garrick said, I kill you, which puts 55 beside me. And whoever paid you hires another gun, and that cycle runs until someone finally ends me. I'm tired, Soren. Too tired to keep repeating the same story. You want that money? Earn it. Soren nodded once, no bravado, just agreement. Street or here? He asked. Here, Garrick said. Now, I'm done running, done delaying. We finish it in this room. One of us dies, one walks away. Let's find out which. The saloon cleared back, leaving space. 20 feet between them, whiskey-stained floor, lamplight flickering against old timber walls. 2 men. No speeches, no countdown. Just death waiting for whichever hand moved second. Sheriff Adeline Crestwood cleared civilians from the floorboards and pushed onlookers behind walls. Old Myrtle Pike ducked behind the counter. Everyone knew what was about to erupt. 2 men who lived by their draw, 2 legendary pistols. Only one would walk away. No one knew which. They faced each other across the open space of that dusty saloon. Garrick Ash-Hand Wexler, 58 years old, 55 lives already behind him. The golden devil resting at his hip like a loaded memory. Soren Blackthorne, 42, 23 kills earned hard. Twin Colts strapped low, same steel he used to end lawmen. 2 professionals about to decide who ruled speed, timing, and death. No count, Soren said. No rules. No rules, Garrick agreed. We draw when we draw. First bullet decides the living. You ready? Soren asked. I've been ready. They froze, not breathing, not twitching, not blinking. Men who had killed enough to know this wasn't about being quick. It was about seeing the draw before it happened, reading muscle before it moved, anticipating intent before motion. No spectators made a sound. And then Garrick caught it. The faint roll of Soren's right shoulder, barely an inch, just enough to reveal intent. That was all he needed. The golden devil cleared leather like a spark hitting dry prairie brush, instant flame. His thumb cocked the hammer mid-rise, the barrel leveled, trigger found, shot released. All inside a heartbeat. Soren was fast, blindingly fast, drawing, raising, matching steel with steel. Against any other gunman, he would have won, but not against Ash-Hand. Not against someone carved from 55 dead men. Garrick's bullet struck him, center mass, punched through sternum, ripped through heart, blew out through his back, fatal before breath left his lungs. But death sometimes has momentum. Soren's gun finished rising, his fingers squeezed. Reflex. Last act of living, last echo of a killer's instinct. The bullet crossed to 20 feet, smoke trail still hanging, struck Garrick high in the left shoulder, missed his heart by inches, missed arteries by grace. Hard hit, but not a death sentence. Garrick staggered, gripping his shoulder, crimson leaking between his fingers, but he stood upright. Because Ash-Hand didn't fall. Soren collapsed hard, breath shaking, blood expanding beneath him. His eyes still open, still aware. You're faster, he whispered. No man should be that fast. Then the light left his eyes. 23 kills ended, career closed, name erased. Garrick stood over him, left shoulder burning, gun still warm, smoke drifting upward. 56 now. 56 ghosts. 56 weights pressing into him. And one wound that could turn septic, could finish what Soren began. Slow, quiet, inevitable. Maybe 56 was his last count. Or maybe tomorrow some young hand would try to make 57. Or maybe the one who could kill him was already watching. Sheriff Adeline Crestwood bound his shoulder. The bullet had passed clean through. Missed bone, missed artery. Painful, but survivable. "You'll live," she said. "But you need to leave." "Tonight can't wait," Sheriff Adeline Crestwood said as she wrapped fresh gauze over Garrick's shoulder. "Word is spreading too fast. 3 men dead in 2 days. Ash-Hand Wexler alive in salvation. Every gun hand across 4 territories will start riding this way. My town won't survive that, and you won't survive that. You need to go." "Where?" Garrick asked. "Where is left for me? Where does a legend disappear? Where does a man go when everyone knows the name that belongs to him? How do I become nobody when the world keeps shouting my name?" There is no quiet, no safe corner. Just riding from one sunrise to the next until someone finally drops me. That's what my life is now. Moving and killing. Killing and moving. "Then stop being Ash-Hand," she said. "Bury the golden devil. Bury it for real. Put it in the dirt and walk away. Stop carrying the thing that keeps calling death to you. Lose the gun, lose the legend. Change your name, change your face, change everything. Start over in some place where the devil can't follow." "I tried that," Garrick said. "For 15 years I tried. Then 6 fools dumped whiskey over my head and woke up what I buried. And here we are, 11 bodies later, 56 total. The legend breathing again. You believe burying steel fixes that? You think tossing this weapon into the ground erases 56 graves? The legend isn't metal. The legend is me. And I can't bury myself." "Then you're going to die," Sheriff Crestwood said. Not cruel, just truthful. "Someone quicker will show. Someone with better eyes, steadier nerves, sharper timing. And you'll be number 57 instead of carrying 56. That's how men like you end, face down in the dirt. You've always known that." Garrick stood and flexed his wounded arm. It hurt, but it worked. He could still draw, still fire, still kill, still add 57, 58, 59. He could keep counting until numbers turned to blur, until he wasn't a man anymore. Just a mechanism. Just a revolver pretending to be flesh. He walked upstairs and packed his few things. He pulled the golden devil from its holster, held it in the lamplight. Beautiful, cruel, irreplaceable. 47 notches when he buried it 15 years ago. None carved since, because carving didn't matter. The number lived in memory. 56. 56 bodies. 56 graves. 56 ghosts that wore his name. He thought about burying it like Adeline had told him. Put it 6 feet down, leave it behind. Become someone without a golden weapon. Someone without history tied to the trigger. But he already knew the truth. Legend was not steel. Legend was the hand wrapped around steel. He could bury the gun, but the man didn't go with it. He would still be Ash-Hand with a different pistol. Same skill, same reputation, same gravity pulling enemies toward him. So he holstered the golden devil again, saddled patience, rode out of salvation at midnight. No destination, no map, no future. You don't outrun your shadow. You don't outride your own history. You just move until movement stops, until someone strikes faster, until the legend fades into dust. And Garrick understood with cold certainty that his ending was close. Not tonight, not tomorrow, but soon. Someone with number 57 was already walking through the world, already breathing, already riding. And Garrick almost welcomed that end. Because death meant peace, and peace was something he hadn't tasted since the first shot he ever fired. 3 years passed. Garrick Wexler was 61 and still moving, town to town, state to state, never resting, never letting roots take hold, always arriving days before challengers, always leaving before legends caught up. But legends travel faster than horses, and word had reached everywhere. Ash-Hand Wexler still lives. The Golden Devil kept dealing death. 56 turned into 60. Then 60 became 64. 64 grew into 71. Every dusty stop brought fresh gun hands wanting their chance. Every challenge left another grave behind. Every victory inflated the legend further. Garrick Ash-Hand Wexler was exhausted. Bone-deep, soul-deep exhaustion. Tired of drifting, tired of surviving, tired of winning fights that only bought him more enemies. His shoulder never healed right from Soren Blackthorn's bullet. Some mornings his hands shook when he tried to drink. Age was finally stalking him, and his speed was fading inch by inch. Reflexes dulled, vision blurred. The day wasn't far off. Someone younger, steadier, hungrier would draw before him. And then the moment arrived. Silver Creek, Montana Territory, November of 1887. Garrick sat inside a quiet saloon, drinking coffee, only coffee now. Whiskey held no appeal. Too many ghosts lived in the smell of it. Too many memories of 6 drunken men drenching him in liquor, waking up the legend he tried to bury. Since that night, 71 men had fallen. A young man entered, no more than 23, tall, wiry frame, coat in faded Confederate gray, even though the war had ended more than 2 decades earlier. He walked straight to Garrick's table, took the chair opposite him without permission, and stared him dead in the eye. "You're Garrick Wexler," he said. "Ash-Hand, the Golden Devil. 71 kills, fastest alive. My name is Thane Lockridge," he continued, "and I'm your grandson." Garrick didn't speak, couldn't. Grandson? Impossible. He had no children, no family, no roots, no legacy except graves. "My mother was a Lowen Maris," the young man said. "She passed last spring. Before she died, she told me who you were. Told me about her father, your son. You never knew him. He served the Confederacy, fell at Shiloh. I'm what's left of his blood, what's left of yours." "I don't have a legacy," Garrick answered. "Just ghosts, just bodies behind me. If you truly carry my blood, you need to ride far from me, because my name brings hunters. My name brings bullets. Being connected to me is a death sentence." "Too late," Thane said. "Men already came looking, 6 of them. They wanted your attention, wanted to send a message. I buried everyone. But another will come. Someone who's quicker than me. Someone who'll kill me. Unless you teach me. Unless you make me fast enough." Garrick studied him. The face carrying his bloodline, the eyes carrying years he never lived. The burden he never asked for. And Garrick understood it all at once. The legend didn't stop with him. It passed through blood, through lineage, through Thane Lockridge. The only way to protect him was to turn him into something deadly, to sharpen him, to mold him, to shape another quick death. And Garrick wasn't sure whether that was salvation or pure damnation. Didn't know if teaching him to kill was love or cruelty. Didn't know if training him meant saving his life or ending it faster. But he chose anyway. Because family was the only thing worth staying alive for, the only thing worth dying for. 5 years later. 5 years later, Garrick Wexler was 66. He sat on a porch in Wyoming Territory, rocking slow, drinking black coffee. Thane Lockridge sat beside him. Same beverage, same silence. 2 gunmen watching the sun fall behind ridge lines. 2 souls carrying revolvers like shadows. The Golden Devil still rode Garrick's hip. Thane carried a pair of ordinary Colts, but ordinary hands didn't draw them. He was 28 now. Fast, clean, precise. A professional forged by the quickest hand the West ever birthed. He had put down 14 men within those 5 years, everyone a challenger, everyone a legal fight, everyone self-defense. Thane Lockridge was slowly carving his own name into legend. Folks whispered new nicknames: Ash-Hand's Heir, the Young Devil, the Second Lightning. Garrick Ash-Hand Wexler had dropped 17 more during that same stretch. 71 became 88. 88 fallen men. 88 shadows tied to his boots. 88 reminders that peace was something he'd never own. "You're slowing up," Thane said. Not cruel, just truthful. "Yesterday's draw against that Texas kid, you paused. Half a heartbeat. Someone real good puts you in the dirt for that." "I know," Garrick admitted. "I'm 66. I've carried speed since I was 18. Been the fastest for over 4 decades. Longer than most men live. Nobody keeps that forever. So someone younger will come. Someone sharper. And he'll kill me. That's the cost. You trade a life for legend. I signed that deal when I was just a boy." "Then stop," Thane told him. "Quit for real. Hand me the Golden Devil. Let me carry the name. Let me face the wolves. You earned rest." "The gun ain't the legend," Garrick said. "The man is. You could wear the Golden Devil tomorrow, wouldn't change your name. You'd still be Thane. I'd still be Ash-Hand. The burden stays with me until somebody plants me in the ground." That was the curse, the tax on glory. They sat quiet together. Grandfather and grandson, teacher and heir. Both killers shaped by steel, both marked by choices no one else would ever understand. "When you die?" Thane asked softly. "What happens to the Golden Devil?" "You bury it with me," Garrick said. 6 feet down. Don't keep it. Don't show it. Don't sell it. Let it rot right beside me. Gun dies when I die. That's final. Do you understand?" "I understand," Thane said. "But I won't do it." Garrick turned, surprised, almost offended. "And why wouldn't you?" "Because the Golden Devil isn't just iron," Thane replied. "It's history. It's proof that legends existed. It deserves to sit behind glass one day with a plaque that reads, 'The Golden Devil. Gun of Garrick, Ash-Hand Wexler. 88. Confirmed kills. Fastest man to ever draw iron.' That's legacy. Not ghosts, not regrets. Legacy is being remembered, being real. The world deserves proof you existed, that the fastest who ever lived was more than a rumor." Garrick wanted to refuse, wanted to demand burial and erasure. But Thane wasn't wrong. Legacy wasn't about disappearing. It was about leaving something behind. Maybe 88 dead men weren't just footprints in dust. Maybe the legend had meaning. Maybe being remembered meant forgiveness of some kind. Garrick realized when the final bullet came, soon, tomorrow, maybe tonight, he wouldn't go nameless. He'd leave a man behind, leave a story behind, leave steel that proved he once walked the earth. And maybe that was enough. Maybe that was peace. Maybe the best end a legend could claim was dying knowing he mattered. And the Golden Devil would stand as proof. Forever. Finally, let me send my deep thanks to you. We appreciate you more than you think. If this tale stirred something deep inside, we invite you to remain part of this frontier of memories. More true stories of honor, compassion, and destiny are waiting for you here. Subscribe, share, comment, and thank you for riding with us today. Aviso legal. Disclaimer. Our content is designed for artistic and entertainment purposes and may reinterpret historical themes using fictional touches. We apply AI tools thoughtfully, only to support production. while keeping human supervision over editing, emotional tone, and narrative coherence. We always comply with regulatory guidelines for AI-based media and avoid deepfake practices or identity manipulation. All supporting components remain legally sourced. Please ask for authorization before sharing or adapting any segment. Your respect makes it possible for us to continue telling meaningful stories.